Hello and welcome to the greatest debate in the universe. I'm your host, Danox, and with me is Robbie Bobby Ali.
You're like, that's not right.
No, that is our intro. It has always been our intro. I figured I could just play it off my phone this episode, and once I start saying words in the past episode, right, I'll just pause me.
Hello and welcome to the GT.
Hello and welcome to the GT versus Super Podcast. I'm your host, Anime Danman, and with me is Bob.
Hey guys.
From GigaBoots.com. Hey Bob, how's it going?
Doing okay.
We watched some Dragon Ball GT.
Like way too much, yes.
And we watched some Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
It is worth noting how much we watched. Bob, how much did we watch?
We watched 3 episodes of each because we're insane.
Okay, and what episodes does that put us at?
I don't remember. What?
6, 7, and 8.
Okay.
6, 7, and 8. By this point, Bob's eyes have gone full Steve Buscemi. He's just dog-eyed out. But, let's get this show on the road. We need to read this Hail Zeon shit post from last week. Sage wisdom.
Yeah.
Here we go. Fun fact, by episode 4 of GT, the writing staff realized the Black Star Dragon Ball arc was a dumb, boring idea, scrapped the story, and started planning out a new one. Yeah, we noticed by the end of episode 8, but we'll get to that later. You chose the Menza score over the Tokunaga score. Well, it was nice being friends with you guys, but I'm still gonna leave my weekly shit notes, though. I don't know. I still think there's something to be said for the American soundtrack trying really hard. It is amazing. It's like, I don't even know how to relate it to anything else ever in the history, man. It may be the distilled essence of try hard, edgelord. Zeon insists he knows what a Ferengi is, and yes, I still really like his design. Talking about that guy from GT.
Yeah, the Ferengi.
The guy, yes, that one. I mean, there's only one Ferengi in Dragon Ball so far.
Right,
and it's
hopefully
in GT,
it stays that way.
That would be nice. I don't know, I feel like we're opening up to more, but in any case, Z is about trying Okay. Here we go. Z is about tying everything back into itself like your Kojima. And then Hail Zeon, that was a quote from us, evidently. And then Zeon says, what did Majin Buu tie back into again? I don't think I said Z was that. I think I said Super was that, but, I don't listen to me.
Right, who knows?
Neither does Zeon. So, the fun fact is he knows. I hope he knows. Okay, another quote from us. GT, we're going to ship these assholes into space and it ties into Jack Fuck. So there's our contrast, right? So once again, I stress, I said that about Super, not Z, I was saying that Super was all about tying things back into Z. And GT was about shipping people into fucking space and not just doing random shit. But in any case, here we go. The next 3 arcs will tie directly into previous events of the franchise. Also, the Black Star Balls do technically tie back to Piccolo.
Right. I mean...
No, they don't tie back to Piccolo, Zeon. I expected more from you. They tie back into the nameless Namekian.
Which we've been over.
We've been over this. How many times do I have to tell Zeon about this? In any case.
Yeah. Oh, is that just part of that same comment?
No, that was technically 2 comments.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So the next thing, Bob sounds thrilled. Let's see. Super never explains why the PLF gang are now kids. Battle of Gods does, and the manga has a 2-page bonus chapter that covers it, but the Super anime never touches on this at all. Yeah, and it's really getting to me in a way that I didn't think it would, but I'm just getting increasingly angry because it's like, as you continue through Super, more and more you go, why are they even here? You brought in these characters that were non-essential just to have a plot hole. A giant, gaping plot hole.
Anything to have something else to cut to and buy time.
I know, that's the worst part, because that's the last thing I want it to be doing. Because I want the recap to be
like
over.
DBZ. You have to have as many
I feel like they didn't just cut away to plot holes, generally. That didn't really... It wasn't a consistent character. Like, there was no character. Like, King Vegeta didn't just... Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I know. I should be dead, but I'm here now.
Oh yeah, no, they were plot holes before. I'm just saying that they need
that
they did.
DBZ cutaway.
Yeah, that cutaway.
Yeah. I'm okay with the DBZ cutaway. I'm not okay with an entire cast of plot holes. Yeesh. Xeon says, I'm surprised neither of you noticed that Pilaf has Bulma's dragon radar. I noticed he had a dragon radar. They didn't explain it.
Yeah, it was like, it's been long enough.
I guess
maybe other people have dragon radars. Who
I mean, I
knows?
was entertaining that somehow they stole it. It really wasn't that important to me.
Yeah,
Not when they're
next to them being
fucking kids.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess I could stop waiting for explanation because
That's good. Dan wins one bet. Yes. Episode 5 is when Super's production collapsed in on itself. That episode was actually done by one of their top animators, but he had almost no time to work on it. Also, the Blu-ray versions, the ones we watched, Bob, were corrected. The broadcast version looked way worse. Having seen 3 more episodes of Super, that is mind-boggling to even fathom how it could look worse, but
yeah,
I guess 1 or 2 frames an episode is on model, so you know.
I mean, these episodes didn't look as bad. That one is like one of the worst looking episodes of anything I've ever
Except
watched.
for the non-stop wide shots of entire casts of characters where not a single one of them looks right.
Yeah, no,
I get that fight scene looked terrible, but it's like, you couldn't draw a frame of these characters on model?
No.
One? The one we're gonna stare at for a minute solid? It's like, we cut to a wide now as Krillin explains this thing really distendedly. Just enough time for you to look every character in the face and realize not a single one of them looks right. I want to watch this on a CRT. Maybe that'll blur it enough where I can imagine they're drawn correctly. Yeah, that'd be nice. But that's it for Sion's comments, and thank God.
Yeah, the more I watch GT, the more I remember things I used to know about GT and why I hate it. And he's right about all the things that kind of come back into stuff. And I was just like, oh man, but that's all the worst things ever.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm so excited to actually get more context for all these
if
things.
that's why you hate GT, man, you should really look forward to Super with its golden Frieza fighting alongside them. I look forward to the reasoning behind that. It will be amazing.
Look, nothing can be as dumb. And
Jesus
also,
Christ.
the universe is at risk in that. So it's like, yeah, Frieza lives in the universe. That's not too hard to imagine him fighting alongside them for that.
Okay. Okay, sure. Hey guys, how's it going? Bob, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
How are today's episodes to you? Let's talk. What were you after? What?
I mean, after watching this much GT and Super, it's been, I'm not as bad as you. I'm pretty used to watching bad shonen, and this is just really bad shonen. Like, so
this is really, really bad shonen.
Yeah,
we watched a lot of bad anime on GigaBoots.
Yeah,
a lot of bad anime. This is like, I feel like we watched 3 episodes of Super and not a whole lot happened.
No.
In real time, that would be 3 goddamn weeks, a whole month of nothing.
Yeah.
Damn near.
Right, basically. And I actually liked that more than what GT did, which was a lot more stuff.
Let's launch into the lot more stuff that GT did. Bob, we watched 3 episodes of GT, as I mentioned, 6,
Yes.
7, and 8. You took a ton of notes. Would you like to recap what happens in episode 6?
Episode 6, they are out in space again, because they left the desert planet.
Yeah, we just left the desert planet.
Just left the desert planet. Then they've installed Giro in their ship, which seems haphazard.
He kind of has like a
like this weird little seat
little
thing,
cradle thing.
he
Yeah,
lives
he just
in.
sits in it.
And he like guides them to the next Dragon Ball.
Because he is the Dragon Radar now.
Yeah, he's
because
the
he
Dragon-
ate it.
Yeah,
2 episodes ago. Yeah.
right. So he does that. He dives into the planet. They land on that planet, and everything's giant.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like huge.
like huge.
Wow.
Like first they land on some mountains, and the mountains end up being turtles.
They were alligators, dumbass.
Well, they're turtles. I guess maybe. I don't know.
They were motherfucking alligators with rock backs. Instead of
I-
having scales, they had giant mountainy things going on with their
That's
backs.
why I was going for, or that's why I thought they were going for turtles, because there's some sort of rocky shell that they're wearing. They thought was land.
Bob's just,
Anyway.
he loves Torterra.
Anyway.
The point is, Torterra is a great Pokemon. Everyone should appreciate Torterra's design. GT clearly does. Why haven't they done for alligator but rock? That would be great. I'm just going to talk about Pokemon now.
Sure.
Bob, do you know what a for alligator is?
Vaguely.
It's a Totodile third evolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Totodile's the best starter in second gen. What? Sandile? Yeah, I mean, Sandile's okay, but he's not, like, rocky. Oh my god. She's just talking about, like, well, competitively. Oh my god. I'm not fucking talking about competitively. I'm talking about Totodile, how great he is. Bob, did these crocodiles and GT
they immediately left.
Oh, okay.
They did not stick around those crocodiles.
They're like, oh man, because the first shot they showed in, the rocks are moving together and it looks like it's an earthquake of some sort or crazy, and then it cuts to an above shot and it's like, oh, that's their backs, and they're crocodiles with crazy mountain backs, and I guess they're big. And then everything else was big after that. So
yes,
yeah, they were definitely big.
Everything else was absurdly big after that. Like the first
like grass.
Yes.
And apples.
Uh-huh.
And weird pink giants.
Yes.
Yes.
But
and bees.
The first half of the episode is all about the bees.
Okay.
It's about
tell me about the bees,
insects.
Bob. What's up with the bees half of this episode?
They're playing around. Goku and Pan like play around with these giant bugs and stuff. And Pan, for some reason, like out of absolutely nowhere, she's just wearing a bug outfit. And she's like, Grandpa, I look like an insect, right? And he's like, I guess so.
He's the audience surrogate.
Yeah.
He really is.
And then she gets angry and runs off. And then
well, some butterflies fly past. And then she flies up to the butterflies,
yes.
And then she's flying with them. And then she looks up at the sky, and there are 3 different colored spheres. And it starts making a buzzing sound, and she keeps staring at it. And it turns out they're just a shitload of bees. And so the bees kind of like kidnap her.
Yeah. And while this is happening, Goku and Trunks are actually looking for a Dragon Ball. Surprisingly for this series.
But then they hear Pan scream.
Yes.
And one of the most amazing scenes of Goku being a grandparent ever.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Pan screams because she's getting kidnapped by giant fucking bees.
Uh-huh.
And Trunks is like, that was Pan, we should go help her. And then Goku's like, she's fine.
Yes. Good God, Goku.
We just get the Dragon Ball and then save my granddaughter's life.
Yeah. Did we watch it with subtitles at that point? I feel like that's what made us turn subtitles on.
Because we didn't want to believe that Goku was just like, human life. I mean, he's died a few times, so I understand being jaded.
True.
This is where Halcyon's like, he only died once.
But he died twice.
He did die twice.
So he won't say that.
Okay. But I said a few times and not a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I see. But so then they do. But yeah, they decide to go help Pan. Yes, because Trunks makes a convincing argument that no, we have the Dragon Radar, Goku. We can just go find that anytime. We don't know where Pan's going.
Yeah, so they kind of try to go help Pan, but what has happened up to this point is a giant bird dropped an apple dropped onto the Dragon Ball. The Dragon Ball got lodged in the apple. A bird picked up the apple and then landed on the shoulder of a pink giant.
Yes.
And then the pink giant grabs the apple, puts it in a bag, and just keeps walking. Now, if this sounds like weird Alice in Wonderland shit, it basically is.
And this is all happening. Like, they already saw the Dragon Ball. It's literally Trunks and Goku staring at all of this happen, not doing a thing.
Yeah, they just stand by and let things happen like really bad shonen does.
Yeah. Like, there's so much of that in this series. Like, every time that you think, okay, just do something to stop that, like Pan gets taken away by bees. It's like, okay, just fly away. They're just bees. They're big bees, but you're Pan. You're, like, super powerful and fighting those yeah.
Now, I ask you all to rewind 6 minutes to where Bob says, I've seen a lot of bad shonen, I'm used to this. But his major complaint about this is, it is doing the thing really bad shonen does.
Oh, yeah,
no. They just stand around and they're like, unfortunately, all these years of ninja training taught me to let the bad guy do what he's doing. It would be rude to interrupt. Yeah, no, I hate that part in fiction writing. It's like some of the worst because it's like, you really couldn't write a convincing reason that this person got away with doing the thing they just did. You just hope that we're so addled with ADD that we won't think about
that our main characters are literally standing there doing nothing.
I mean, last episode they had to write out instant transmission. Yeah, no,
at least they didn't have to write out Super Saiyan, but still, jeez.
Yeah, that's. I'm glad they didn't write out Super Saiyan. That would be real fucking weird. I haven't seen Trunks go Super Saiyan as far as I can remember.
No, we still haven't.
That's
it's like
weird.
he was going Super Saiyan when he was 10.
Yeah, I guess he stopped being cool.
I guess.
Some people do that, but not you, Bob. Bob's keeping it real. Bob, what else happened in this episode as I slink off to change settings?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then it goes back and shows a bit about Pan's doing, and they're holding her captive. They think that she's their queen. So they're giving her honey, and there's this room full of like baby bees hatching, which the bees start hatching, and she thinks they're gonna attack her, and then it starts playing like goofy music, and then everything.
What happens is the eggs start shaking, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's like 100 eggs, and all of them have gross ass larvae in them. Oh fuck, I need out." And then they hatch, and they have adorable bees, and she's like, "Ooh, adorable bees."
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It was like, oh, larva's gross, but adorable bees, those are adorable.
I guess.
It doesn't take a lot for Pan to completely turn on emotions.
And then we cut to Goku and Trunks finding what they think is Pan, stuck in a spider's web and a giant.
Let's talk about that real quick. They see the antenna of an actual bee.
Yes,
sticking out of a spider's web cocoon. And they're like, clearly that's Pan.
Yep.
So then they walk up, they bust up the spider, but it's an actual fight, kind of. I don't know. It should have been a 1-inch punch and done.
Right,
but then they get the poor victim of the spider off the web, rip it open, and then Goku's like, "So is it Pan?" Did you write down the line? I think I asked you to write down the line. I seem to recall asking you.
I wanted to. I don't know if I did. I don't. You asked me about one after that.
But yeah, Trunks like turns back. Wait, I got it. Trunks turns back at the camera and he goes, "Don't worry, she'll be fine."
No, that's yeah. You said Trunks. Okay, yeah.
Trunks. Yeah. And then Goku's like, "Yeah, that thing's way too quiet to be Pan." We look at it in Japanese and it's just like rambling about the fucking exposition.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's like, man, this is clearly Clean B. We should get it back to the. And the Goku's like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because Trunks would know it's a Queen Bee. Is
yeah, like on this alien planet with giant life form. Being a CEO, he's seen Queen Bees fight over Nozeni. Because he pays for that because he's into all sorts of illegal gambling.
But yeah, no, that the double line there really helped this episode. I feel
like I'm starting to slowly get Bob onto my side of thinking the localization is immensely better than the original, because we kept the subtitles on for basically the entirety of the 3 episodes, and yeah, the U.S. localization scripting is just immensely better. In Japan, they're doing that like really bad Japanese stereotype of writing where the person responds by saying the last proper noun instead of saying anything new. And then on top of that, they basically repeat the same information 2 sentences in a row. So it ends up being 4 redundant sentences they're saying all over a slow shot, and it's really bad. Whereas in the States, they're like, we can spice this up with some flavor writing, you know? Right. We can characterize this giant dumb enemy. Yeah, so I came around. I think the U.S. localization is really good, and I ironically enjoy the soundtrack because once again, it's purified, distilled, try hard, and I love that it's trying to make GT into a thing that people who enjoyed Z might watch,
right?
But it can't. It's just music.
Yeah, because I mean it would make sense, right?
Yes.
For the sequel to Dragon Ball Z
to also be kind of like Z-like.
Be Z-like and have like some rap style soundtrack.
Yes. You could see that happening.
Yeah.
You could see like the sequel to Z being in a style where that soundtrack makes sense. And who knows, maybe by the next arc or the one after that, it 100% fits. But right now, the soundtrack is not fitting the actions whatsoever. Bob, did you at any point today while seeing giant bees and Alice in Wonderland shit, speaking of which, Sliders does this shit better than this show at this point. But in any case,
yeah. Well, there was some moment in this episode where I was like, "Wow, even Sliders would do that better."
Yes. Pretty sure it was the resolution to the conflict.
Maybe.
Not in episode 6, but in 7, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know, but yeah, it's they have the Slider syndrome, where the main cast will just stare at the world being the world, and not really affect it, and then they'll be like, okay, we need to come up with a Scooby-Doo like super elaborate scheme to solve this, and that's kind of Sliders did that a few times, you know.
Yeah.
And GT does that too. It just does it worse. And generally, like, I don't think there's an episode of Sliders where it's like, what if this universe is just huge?
Well, they didn't have the budget for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That would happen if they had the budget. Don't even kid yourself.
But, you know, Sliders had some real ambition. For example, one time, they were like, what if the Earth was just on fire? And it was like CGI fire background. It was
pretty good.
It was the intro to an episode.
Yeah,
it was pretty
I
good.
remember that. I was like,
pretty good.
That was your idea? Okay.
It was brilliant. I love it. Oh, man. And see, that's the thing. When it comes to ironic enjoyment, GT's competing directly with Sliders, and Sliders is winning. Sliders has a really shitty CGI raptor. GT hasn't done anything that good yet, but I'm looking forward to, Super 17's shoulder biceps. But Bob, what's up with 7? You got any notes?
We
you
didn't
need
even
to talk
finish,
about
we
6.
didn't even finish 6.
You want to talk about 6?
So they go really save Pan. They like get the queen bee to the bees, and they give Pan back.
Yep.
And then they go after the giant.
Yeah. Okay.
And they sneak up to the giant.
Yeah.
And then he eats the Dragon Ball that has he eats the apple that has the Dragon Ball shoved inside of it.
Yes.
And then they start monologuing about, oh man,
we're gonna have to wait till that giant takes a shit.
Yeah.
And then another one's like, or Trunks goes, yeah, we should just leave and then come back when this works itself out. And then it turns out that the giant like shattered his tooth, or he already had a cavity in his tooth and it was already shattered, and the Dragon Ball got stuck in it. So Goku flies into his mouth, tries to hold his mouth open, and then he's like, Trunks, come in here and get the Dragon Ball. I can't do this for that long, which elicited a what from both me and Bob.
Right.
And then Trunks is like, no, I'm not going to do it. And Goku's like, and then the mouth closes on him. Goku's like, okay, I'm not dealing with this. Here we go. And then he shoots a Kamehameha. Conveniently, the giant opens his mouth, and also conveniently, Goku precisely knocks out the tooth with the Dragon Ball.
It looks like he's just shooting the Kamehameha out, like the blow out his teeth, just to get out of the mouth.
Like he's aiming it front and center.
Yeah, front and center, and we clearly already see the Dragon Ball is not stuck in that.
Yeah, and we cut to the outside shot, and the specific molar that was shattered and has the Dragon Ball in it just flies out, and then Goku catches it and he pulls out the Dragon Ball. And as he pulls out the Dragon Ball, it shatters a bit of the tooth. Mm-hmm. Like it just like crumbles as he pulls it out. And Bob like elicited this sound because it was just like,
it is weird, gross dental pain sort of stuff.
It was too real for Bob. For me, I was like, yeah, fair. True. I have horrible dental problems. And then that's it.
Yeah, they got out the Dragon Ball, so they left.
Yep.
I guess. Did we even see that? Yeah, I guess
we saw him leave.
Yeah, and then like Pan finally accepted Giru into the party and was like, okay, you helped us out this time. You did real good.
Good job, champ.
And then the beginning of the next episode, she's super angry at him. Just immediately.
Well, yeah, because he ate part of the control panel.
Yeah, he did, because he eats metal, and they couldn't find metal.
Yeah, they can't feed him the ship.
Right.
That would kill them. So.
Yes.
Then he eats her scissors, and she's like, rah! And then Trunks is like, maybe we should punish Giru in some other way other than tying him up. And then they land on the planet, thank God. So, Bob, tell me about this planet. What's up with it?
This planet it's got a village on it.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Kind of like Sliders, you know. At least Sliders had the conceit of course, they're shifting between the different universes in the same city.
Right.
Whereas Dragon Ball GT's like, they landed at the only village.
Yep.
This world is as big as this cast. Nothing else exists.
Yeah,
but hey, at least they didn't spend 3 episodes on this planet.
Yeah, they didn't spend 3 episodes on the last planet either, thank God. Because, oh my God, nothing even talked on the last planet.
It's true.
Even the giant.
Just our main cast quote being funny.
Yeah, man.
But hey, once again, the US dub jokes, they really help with all 3 of these episodes. So Bob, what's the plan? What's the deal with this planet?
And on the way to the planet, there was the line you asked me to write down, because Pan's like looking at the planet like, oh, it's beautiful, and then Trunks is like, especially, or wait, no, she says planets are beautiful, and then Trunks says, especially ones with Dragon Balls.
Yeah, it's like, and I laughed really hard because Jesus Christ.
So of course this village is filled with people that they can all understand, which I'm okay with.
We're just gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, that concede.
The pink giant couldn't understand them, and vice versa. But this planet's different because they're normal people size, and they effectively look like
they're humans with
Vulcans.
pointed ears. Yeah,
they're just Vulcans.
Which I'm pretty sure we see pointed eared humans on Earth in Dragon Ball, but maybe I'm wrong.
I can't.
Hail Zeon can tell us. I know that one of the Kais has pointed ears. Maybe it's just the Kais.
And those are human, right?
Totally.
No, those are Ferengi.
Darn it.
So
then they find
they go to the one village.
They go to the one village.
Has humans and they're Vulcans,
and they find the Dragon Ball, and it's stuck in some girl's hair,
which is great because Bob's like, I bet they're worshiping it. I bet it's like hailed as a deity. I'm like, I swear to God, they're wearing it. And then they get there, and she has it at the end of her hair. She like tied her hair into it.
Right, like they build up to it a little bit by being like, oh man, what's going on in the city? It's super quiet, and everyone's gathered around this one hut.
And that's why Bob was like, they're hailing it as a god. And I'm like, nah, they're wearing it.
Yeah, it's just something wholly inconsequential.
Yeah,
like this thing landed here from space
and
only like a month ago,
and she put it in her fucking hair,
like maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
And she's just wearing it in her hair, and it's something totally unrelated to the plot.
Yep.
Because the plot is there's this giant fish man who comes to the city.
Well, let me rephrase. It's a giant obese catfish.
Catfish. Okay.
So that way you don't think it looks like a man that's a fish, because I'm pretty sure that exists in Dragon Ball.
Probably.
Or something similar does for sure.
It's that fish
from
Slayers.
It is like the dragon from like the really, really fat it looks like a crate ass motherfucker, Giant belly, not long enough limbs.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a Dragon Quest dragon or something that looks like that.
Yeah, probably.
Or Dragon Quest monster of some sort. But yeah, it looks exactly like that shit, but it's a catfish and it can use its whiskers to make earthquakes happen. And so he's like, you better give me a woman to fucking... Okay, first things first, let me cover the most important thing about these 2 episodes. This dumb ass, and I mean dumb as motherfucking hell, giant obese catfish is just fucking Kuwabara's voice.
Right? Like, just straight up. There's nothing else.
Sabat is just doing the Kuwabara voice, and it's great. It is incredible.
It does really help this episode.
Immensely. One might say it made this episode. The Goku penis certainly didn't. Oh, wait, that's next episode. Spoilers, everyone. Goku penis finally made its first cameo in episode 8.
I mean, it's there every time in the intro.
Well, this is the first time in canon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for whatever reason, that he's like, you gotta give me a woman or I'll earthquake your village to death, which the villagers warned us about. The villagers go, hey, he can summon earthquakes, so we've been feeding it. We gave him a shitload of treasure, and then he stopped wanting treasure and he wanted food, and then we gave him a lot of food, and he's getting angry, and we can't appease him. And this time he comes and he's like, I'm gonna marry one of your bitches. Give me one of your bitches. So by the end of the episode, what ends up happening is they're gonna give away this lady, who's a young lady, to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
But she was betrothed to someone else. She was going to marry someone else. She had a fiance. That's someone else voiced by Jerry Jewell, who's Jimmy Kudo, for those who don't know. But he's not doing the exact Jimmy Kudo voice, so it's kind of ruined. But it's whatever. In any case, and they come up with a brilliant plan of making Trunks dress up as Lane, which is the name of that chick.
Yes,
and then sneaking off to Zamasu, which is that thing's name, right?
I didn't write down his name.
You didn't write down?
I didn't care.
You have so many notes.
Tsunami.
What?
Tsunami.
Like tsunami?
But with Z.
No, I don't. Is it?
Yeah, it was in the
No way.
ZU.
Whatever. Who's Zamasu? Zamasu's someone else.
It's somebody.
I'm gonna look that up. Bob, what is Trunks' plan? How does it work?
Oh my God, Trunks. For some reason, they made this elaborate plan where Trunks is gonna get him drunk, and then one of the other guys, the Jerry Jewell guy, is gonna have a giant pair of scissors so he chops off the whiskers with.
Okay, so Trunks just like wears her clothes and
Trunks wears her clothes, dresses up in like a wedding that plan's wedding dress.
Oh, okay.
And gets taken off with Fishman.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah,
Zamasu is a super character.
oh yeah, that's it. He's that guy that Black is with in the Super in Dragon Ball Spiders.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he is that guy Black is with. Yep.
Oh no, Dan, did you spoil Super?
No, I didn't spoil shit. What? Don't worry, Bob. We'll find out 40 episodes from now. Now then. So he just dresses up like that, and the episode ends with Kuwabara Catfish being like, "Oh, you're so pretty."
Yes.
And then it's like the narrator's all like, "Ugh, I don't know how to make that sound cool.
Will his cover be blown?
Is the catfish gonna stick in Trunks' pooper?" Find out next time on Dragon Ball GT. And it was an A for effort.
Yes.
But maybe an F for fucking terrible. But yeah, and then the next episode, the catfish just runs off with a fucking.
Yeah, and again, he comes in, the catfish shows up when he first wants the woman, and he like starts shaking the village, and all of them, like the whole cast, just sits there,
Doesn't fight him,
fly,
doesn't punch him, doesn't do it.
Doesn't try and stop him in the least, because that's what GT is.
Zunama. There we go.
And he does I think he just says his name and dances around pointing at stuff when he does it. There's maybe
no in English he said a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he did. They
in
really
Japanese he's just like I'm a happy boy, Zama or Masu. That's why I thought his name was Zamasu.
Right,
because he keeps saying Mazu.
Right, he's got one of those weird tics in anime where he just always says something at the end of his name or at the end of his sentence.
That he does.
Yes. Date Bayo.
Mm-hmm. Date Bayo.
Date Bayo.
Date Bayo. Bayonnaise.
Oh my God.
Is that Bayonetta 3's subtitle?
Totally.
Bayonetta 3 Bayonnaise.
You'll be bay amazed.
She doesn't cover herself in hair anymore. She's just dancing around covered in mayonnaise like a fucking Florida woman.
Yeah, it's the one where she gets taken to the mental ward.
Yeah.
It's really sad. Rodon's there.
He's just like, damn. Is you crazy? That's about it. That's all he can say because she's covered in mayonnaise, dancing, pretending to summon demons. Bayonetta 3's looking pretty hype.
Yes. Sounds way better than this.
Sounds like it's gonna be up there with God of War, the new one.
Oh man.
It's really tragic that God of War has no subtitle.
Yeah.
Like they're just afraid of giving
They don't.
it. Yeah.
Which is weird because like people know what God of War is.
Yeah.
So it's not. You're already scaring people away who don't want to buy a sequel because it's God of War. Everybody knows everybody who's into games knows that that's a series and they don't want to jump in on this one, even though it's just called God of War.
I'm pretty sure you're right, but I don't know. The last competitive God of War, like contemporarily important one came out in like 2009.
Oh yeah, it's been forever.
So it's been 9 years.
It has.
So maybe these bitches don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly bring up the God of War with the kids. I was like, hey kids, what do you think about that God of War as I write this down and sell it to corporations for money? So yeah, what happens is Trunks gets. Do you have any more notes on 7?
No,
do
no.
You just,
I think
okay, good. Moving on to 8. Catfish picks up Trunks catfish is like hitting on Trunks hard.
Yes.
Like this whole time, just like, oh, you're so pretty. And it's like really great.
Really well defined.
Yeah. Oh man, you work out, you're pretty cut. Like, and then just walks off to his lair with fucking Trunks, and his lair's under a lake, and he goes, hey, you're gonna want to hold your breath. And then he leaps in, and then he swims off. And then Goku, Pan, and Jerry Jewel catch up to him. Well, and they're like, wait, where did he go? Oh, look at this flower. This flower was being worn by Trunks, and that shows that this pool of water leads somewhere. We need to swim in and find out. And then Goku strips naked. He's like, I got this. And Pan's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Why did you strip naked? Everyone can see your cock and balls. And then he's like, we took baths together naked when you were a baby. And she was like, yeah, I was a baby. And now you're just a weirdo. And then he's like, whatever. I don't want to be civilized if that means I can't swim around naked. And then he straps his clothes to his head and then swims into the water. And then while he's doing that, Jerry Jewel's like, is he really your granddad? And then she's like, yeah. And then he comes back, shows his cock and balls again, and he's like, they're this way. So that scene was really not necessary.
Look, they really wanted to get naked Goku in here.
I get that. I get that.
To the kids.
Some person somewhere was upset for the last 7 weeks of the show. And didn't have little Goku penis.
No. Somebody was upset for like the last 8 years leading up to this when Z was happening.
Yeah, fair.
And Goku decided to put his pants on.
He's like, what is... God, this isn't why I watched this show. His name was Halcyon. In any case, they catch up to...
Zamu.
Mafuban. They catch up to Rasengan in his lair.
Yes.
And Trunks' wig, after traveling through water at insanely high speeds and other things, his wig is taken off by him brushing up against the hanging shirt.
Yes, he just barely hits something.
And it just takes off the whole wig.
His makeup is all just running extremely because he slightly touches it.
He wipes his mouth because he's sweating, right? So he has to wipe his face with the back of his fist, and that smears his lipstick.
After going to the water at insane speeds.
Yes. And then the catfish, in an unbelievable turn, just goes, wait a second, you're not late. And he's like, what? And then he realizes, oh man, my costume fell off. And he's like, who are you? And then like he says, my name is Trunksetta. And then in Japanese, he's like, my name is... And then there was some weird, like, vague pun on his name being Trunks.
I think it was like absolute or something.
Tolerance.
So I guess.
He was named after a vodka.
Yes.
I think his name was Tito's. He was a very classy lady. I love you, Tito's. I love you, Nacho Bill Grande.
Yeah, it's like Totitos?
Yes, like Totitos. And then, for some reason, the catfish still all in.
Yeah, so the catfish is like, oh man, but you're pretty hot anyway.
You're pretty hot anyway. You know, I come back to this work, and then he like goes to have their wedding feast. Their wedding feast. We have no idea how it got here,
right?
Because the villagers were making it last episode. In this episode, it's somehow in his deep subterranean lair.
That they have no idea where it is. Yeah.
So many layers of like, what the hell? So they start having the food, and then Trunks is like, hey, you should... Sorry, Trunksetta is like, hey, you should have some of this special wedding sake, which looked like wine, but whatever. Is red sake a thing?
I don't know. Maybe.
I've never seen red sake. I've seen a lot of different sakes and a lot of different things, both real and fictional. Never red.
They had some good stuff on this planet. Okay,
some hyper concentrated.
The rice is red here. Are you gonna be upset that they have red rice on this this planet out in space?
Yes, because I believe in rice washing.
Well, I mean, you should wash your rice. I mean, that's just how it is.
Actually, America's Test Kitchen has some recipes in which you should not wash your rice.
Oh yeah, no, there are recipes you shouldn't.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, in general, you wash your rice.
Yeah. Well, you said you should wash. Okay, so that's not always true.
All right,
we can really get into this if you want.
I mean, I guess there are
some America's Test Kitchen videos. We'll just watch that with
I mean, there's like the other kind of rice you're not even supposed to wash. Like, you're just supposed to rinse it once, and then, then you're done.
Yeah, and then you're done. You don't even cook it. You just
you just eat it. It's
like
great.
that. You're like, man, I'm fucking Nihongo as shit. That's what you do. You know that
maybe we should just leave. You know, it sounds like a good place to end it.
I feel like they stopped listening by now.
Did we scare them away? I mean, that was enough Dragon Ball talk, right?
Thank God. Now we can talk about anything. So, hey, Bob.
Hey.
That TV's nice.
It is pretty nice.
Case clothes look like shit on it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
I feel like the later seasons of Case clothes look better, and the movies definitely.
Oh, yeah, the movies will definitely look better.
The movies look sharp.
Oh, man. Why did we show a random episode when you have the movies?
Because I knew the movies would just look better.
Okay.
I wanted to see the series. I wanted to see how that looked. I still threw in a season 1 disc because I did that thing I always do where I'm like, let me watch a random, that's the important word, random episode of Case Closed. So I'll throw in season 3 disc 3 every time. I've done that
very random.
I've done that 3 times. Uh-oh. The numerology's coming for me.
Yes.
I'm like Jim Carrey in that movie. Better Off Ted.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey was in that. It was a movie and it was about numerology. All these things are true.
Yes.
Actually, they are true. That's 3 more lies. But really, though, we can just talk about anything now, right? We both agree?
I don't know. Maybe we should go back to this.
Fine. He pours the sake on the food and then feeds the food to the fish because the fish was like, I'm not going to drink. Stop being pushy little bitch. Rah, 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 rah. And then he feeds the food to the fish and then the fish is like, oh, I'm all drunk. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. And then they get in an argument with him and then he falls over asleep and then they snip off the whisker and then he gets back up and then he thinks the earth's still shaking. Because it was shaking earlier, and he thinks it's still shaking, and he's like, I'm going to shake the earth real bad, and he shakes his one whisker, and they're like, it's not shaking anymore. And somehow, through only that one thing, that his whisker is shaking, but the earth isn't earthquaking anymore, or alien planet quaking anymore, they realize he never could do it, and that he's always been lying, and that he could just predict it, so then he just bluffed his way around that. How the fuck do you get all of that from...
It didn't work this one time.
We cut off half of an organ.
Yeah.
We cut off an entire organ, let's be real.
Yeah, no.
And we're just going to assume that the only reason it doesn't work now that we've fucking dismembered him.
Yeah.
That's like cutting off a dude's leg, and then when he can't walk, you're like, he never could.
Walking was a lie.
That dude just kept swinging his legs right as the earth was moving underneath him. Fucking liar. Chad, you goddamn dick. It's stupid.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
And that may have been the thing where I was like, Slide is so much better about this.
Yeah, no, that was ludicrous. like that leap of logic was so insane.
You could tell that maybe they were considering a 3rd episode even, and they were like, okay, end it. Like the writing team's just like, go, Jesus.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's just hurry along. So he explains, yeah, no, I've been doing that. I didn't expect it to carry along this far. I've been doing this in order to... Wait, we're not there yet. Let me just cover the rest of this.
Sure.
Even though this detail came up earlier in the plot, I feel like it's better if you couple it with the next event. He goes, I've just been predicting these earthquakes for a really long time now, but, you know, a really huge one's coming up and this volcano is going to explode.
The volcano he lives in.
He lives next to this volcano that he knew was going to explode. He knew the earthquakes were getting terrible and it was probably going to explode, and he brought his newlywed wife back there. There's so many layers of like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, right? It's like, why were you living here to begin with if your only real power was knowing this? Why do you continue to stay here?
I don't know.
None of it makes any sense.
So they start swimming out through the water, and then the magma's catching up, and then Goku shoots the fireball. I had to use the FGC term.
Oh, man.
He shoots a fireball at the magma. And it explodes the magma to keep it. Or actually, no, he shoots the Hadoken to go faster.
No, he's pushing the water, the magma back towards it too.
Well, really, the main function of the Kamehameha at that point was to propel him backward, to bump into everyone, to propel them all out of the water. So they all get out. Yes.
Happening?
So they all get out of the water.
Yes.
The volcano starts erupting and magma everywhere. Japanese dub, perfectly silent.
Yes.
American dub, Goku Bond villains it and explains his whole plan to stop the volcano.
Oh,
and I'm like, at least
there's another really good dub line right before that.
Okay, go ahead.
Where they come out of the water.
Yes.
They all land. And then Goku flies up, and Jerry Jewel's like, he can fly?
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yes.
That was real good.
Best promoted the whole anime.
The scene before that, he shoots energy out of his fucking hands. But still, in this moment, that one guy has the wherewithal to go, he can fly? It's good. It's really good. That was like one of the few dub things that drastically improved that episode. For example, for some reason in that line of explaining that he's going to Kamehameha the fucking volcano and blow it up. No, wait, it was earlier when Trunks was talking about the thing. Trunks, for some reason, knows the name of the mountain.
Yeah, in the Japanese dub, he knows what the mountain's called.
Yeah, which we didn't see that anywhere in the subtitles. You know?
Yeah.
But in the English dub, he goes, we're in some volcano. And I'm like, thank you. That's way more reasonable. It's like the writers just were reading the Bible and they're like, oh, he's going to reference mountains, so call it by its name. You're mixing player knowledge with character knowledge. So Goku blows up the volcano and he goes way overboard and eviscerates it. He's like, man, I went a bit too far there. Sorry, everyone. Everyone's like, whoa. And it's zany. Then it cuts to them at their spaceship with all the villagers gathered around.
First, let me mention, this is two events in a row.
Yeah.
Like 2 episode sets.
Yeah.
That have ended with, oh, well, Goku just uses Kamehameha finally and solves it.
Yes.
It's like, okay, can you think of anything else, please?
No.
Okay, go on. This is truly insane scene.
Yeah, no, I had to pause it. I paused it mid-action because I'm not going to say that I was like falling asleep on the couch, but I was starting to fade. I was drinking a Red Bull. I had just cracked it open and started sipping on it to get the caffeine necessary to deal with this miserable experience that is only rivaled by the worst idea of all time podcast where they watched Grown Ups 2 53 times in 1 year.
Ugh.
That's what I compare this fucking podcast to.
Yeah.
We're those guys, but for fucking garbage anime. In any case, that's not important. God, fucking just recounting the scene. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me brace. The villagers are gathered around their spaceship. They're going to leave. They hand Goku or actually Pan specifically, I believe, the Dragon Ball.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, we're going to go. And everyone's like, oh, thank you. And then the dumbass fish, Kuwabara, in any case, they're like, he's a nice guy. As long as you don't give him any drink. Or Goku's like, okay, just don't give him any alcohol. Because right as soon as he drank that sake, he bitch slapped Trunks.
He did.
It was like, oh, that's like abusive and really gross and unsettling. That giant, dumb, goofy fish got like marital abuse immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, that was when he was written to be the bad guy. That changed in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. So in any case, he's hanging out with all the villagers. They get handed the Dragon Ball. Pan does, or Trunks does. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. And it's like, okay, they're going to leave on the spaceship. But as they're just holding the Dragon Ball starts glowing. Flies completely laterally across the crowd, like slowly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just lands in the hand of this dude who's one of the random villagers. Had no lines before this, nothing of significance. That person turns into a weirdo alien with red spandex on, with the shot framed on his dick, because that's what I paused it. And I just went, I can't fucking deal with this. How? Look, I know you want to bail on this arc just as much as Bob and I do. Holy fuck, there's so many better. Why didn't they run into him in space?
No.
Why did he disguise himself as a villager?
Yeah, he could have just flown in. Like,
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But basically, he just grabbed the Dragon Ball and then flew up into the sky and then flew away in a spaceship. Yes. Like, he went into a spaceship and then flew into space. And it was like...
Well, again, they have stares at him. Just stares.
Just stares. And they're like...
and the gas lasts for 2 minutes.
Yeah. they also have another Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they have
in the ship.
Right.
The one
he doesn't want that one. He wants star number or 6-star ball. I'm sure that's it. Like, we're never going to hear about this guy unless he wants 6-star ball.
Remember in episode 7 when they're like, how many stars does it have on it? Oh, it has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6. Yay! And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
right? Where did this even come from?
It was Sesame Street, but written by idiots?
Oh my god. If Dragon Ball GT was just some disguise for an educational show, I would like it way more.
Yeah, that would really, really help me tolerate it. It's like Dragon Ball GT Sesame Street, but every character's Elmo.
Oh no.
But yeah, that's GT. Did you have any comments that you passed up? You got it all?
He floats off, man. They just like
I'm serious. I wasn't doing it for effect. I couldn't deal with that.
It was just so hardcore. Here's the other plot we're doing. I'm like, oh my god, why? This is the and his design's so bad. Like, it is the GT villain design.
Describe his design.
It's hideous.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
bulky, spandexy, way too much crotch emphasis.
Weirdo helmet. Yeah, it's just and we were talking about earlier how he was disguising himself as a villager, and that Dragon Ball was sitting there unguarded for this whole episode.
Yeah, Lane was spent over a whole episode by herself with all the strong people and active agents of the story completely somewhere else, unable to communicate with them.
Yeah. He just waits until they're about to give it to the crew. Mm-hmm. The cast of characters who could stop him.
As they're getting into their spaceship, the thing where they could chase him in his spaceship?
If they want to do anything. Which they don't.
Which they don't. No.
Clearly.
Obviously not. Oh, man.
I look for the next episode where they land on every single tiny planet.
Keep in mind, everyone, we upped the game to 3 episodes a week because that fucking episode 7 just barely did anything.
Yeah, no.
It's just like, let me overly explain this fish. Let's listen to this fish be a goofball for way too long. Yeah. So we were like, okay, let's do 3, and then we'll do 3 of Super. And we did 3 of Super, and I was glad we did 3 up until the point the 3rd episode ended. And then I was pissed we didn't do 4, which really is my way of saying I'm pissed that the series isn't over. But we'll talk about Super after taking just a short break. I have to tell you, Bob.
What's that?
I'm kind of envious of the worst idea of all time podcasts. I feel like there is something more spiritually cathartic about watching an Adam Sandler movie that no one wanted to make 52 times. I feel bad that by episode 5 of this series, I'm starting to break down and envy those people.
That's pretty bad.
You did see today's episodes, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty bad. But you took some notes about Super.
Super notes. So
are your notes Super?
Yeah, Super notes. They leveled up.
Is that the name of our podcast?
Super Cliff Notes. We just have that same stupid.
Last time on Dragon Ball Super, nothing really happened. So what happened to today's episode?
In today's
Bob?
episode, Beerus shows up on Earth.
Okay.
Yeah. He shows up at the party where everyone is, and Vegeta's the first to notice him. He sneaks up on him, and there's this weird scene of him teleporting around Vegeta and Vegeta being freaking out.
Yeah.
And then Vegeta remembers who he is and has a flashback to when King of Vegeta is being tortured by Beerus, whatever his name is.
I'm calling him Beers.
Okay.
Because that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there are 2 ways to do this. Either you're going to call him Beers, which is the fucking joke in his name, or you're going to call him Birisu, and you're going to roll that LR to properly pronounce it in Nihongo. Old Halcyon used to understand this. He used to, on Weeboots, say Birisu. He used to be pure.
So, apparently he's scolding King Vegeta because he ordered King Vegeta to get him the comfiest pillow in the universe, and he gave him the second comfiest pillow and kept the comfiest pillow for himself. And it's weirdly like dark, but also trying to be funny, and it just doesn't work well.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to think of King Vegeta as a very tragic character, and I do not appreciate Birisu denigrating him over pillows, and I feel like that ruined the integrity of King Vegeta.
He had integrity? I thought he was just the guy who showed up in flashbacks and said almost nothing.
But he was full of honor and pride, and now he's some fetch bitch for pillows. And that upsets me.
Okay.
Look, when I think of...
It's not like he's Bardock or anything, jeez.
I'm just saying, I like to think of him as, like, it's him, Bardock, and Bololi as the Super Saiyajins of the early series. The Saya people in the early series were very honorable, and I feel Super is ruining that.
Who's Bololi?
Oh, Bololi. He's the big one. He has the Bololi belt. It helps him keep his Bololiness to himself. I'm sorry. I am sorry, everyone. Hey, isn't Bololi out as fighters?
Yeah, I think he's in there.
We're fucking recording this, right? Oh man, we should just play fighters 52 times, 52 times in a year.
That's way better.
Clearly. Oh man. Yeah, no, that flashback in Super sucks.
Yeah, no, it's more of that weird
it's
stuff
like
where
they
you're
thought it
filling
was
in.
like you're being way too funny, but you're connecting like Super to Z in really weird ways that kind of cheapens Z.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like all the stuff that we talked about before. Of hey, if you go back and try to over-explain stuff, it just never goes well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is.
Cool, great. This being this episode, the scene, or this whole series?
Most of the series, I guess.
We haven't gone back in GT to anything
I remember
yet.
Too much.
Yet.
Okay.
At 3 episodes an episode, right? 3 episodes of these shows an episode. We still have like 20 more to do.
Oh God. Anyway, so then it's back to modern times. Vegeta is just still being like held down by how powerful Beerus is, and then Bulma walks up and is like, "Oh, hey, who are you guys? Do you know Vegeta here?" And they play it off kind of as they're Vegeta's friends, and they just join the party.
Wait, how is Vegeta being held down?
Beerus' power was holding him down. Like he's on the floor, and Bulma thinks he's doing a push up.
Like he did a Mafuban. He moved his hands outward, and then he fell down, or what? How did Vegeta get pinned down?
Like it's just I guess the pure energy of Beerus being there.
Beerus gave him a look, and then Vegeta did a thing where his body seized up, and because he was running, he basically just went full like cripple on the ground.
Okay.
And for some reason, that's a thing that also happens in the flashback. It's just a thing Beerus does now, I guess.
All right. He just looks at people and can push them down as if there is massive gravity.
Well, really, it's just about disabling their muscles, because later in this episode, or the next one, I don't know, they blur together because nothing happens. Vegeta goes to hit him in midair, and then they're flying, and then he just his body muscle seizes, and it does the same effect and everything with the eyes and the look and the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But it could,
because when he pins him down, he uses his finger to just tap him on the nose, just like he did Goku, with like a boop. I'm gonna boop your nose, and then you're gonna fly into the earth.
Right.
Boop. That would make this way better if Beerus went boop.
Would it?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, some of the lines that Beerus says kind of make this, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's certainly not the events that are driving anything.
No.
But yeah, Bob, I dare you.
What's up?
I dare you to not look at your notes right now and tell me what are the next 2 to 3 things that occur in this episode. Don't skip anything. Give me like the events from there on.
Okay. So then Vegeta's freaking out, wants to make sure nobody upsets Beerus.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing they do is Krillin brings out these takoyaki balls. And one of them's like, it's a roulette. So one of them's filled with wasabi instead of...
Russian roulette takoyaki.
Yes.
Most roulette doesn't involve death.
True. So one of them has wasabi instead of the octopus in it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So then Vegeta's freaking out.
Is it octopus or squid?
It's octopus.
Okay.
Vegeta's freaking out because Beer's going to pick one of these and he really hopes it's not the wasabi one.
Yep, because then he'll blow up the planet.
Right.
And then it isn't it.
Right. And he ends up really liking it. It's good.
He loves
good
it.
For you.
And he's enjoying it. And then Krillin eats the takoyaki ball and he gets the wasabi one and he's like, why is it always me?
Yep.
Then what happened?
I guess I shouldn't.
He looked.
I looked.
Bob lost. It's okay, Bob. It's all a dank blur.
Then he sees the Boo's eating pudding.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants some of the pudding too because he hears it's really good.
So he sees Majin Buu eating pudding?
Yes.
Like just a cup?
Like he has a whole... He's taking all the pudding on the ship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Majin Buu is doing Die Hard over here, taking pudding hostage.
Yes. So he goes over there and they politely ask for pudding for Boo. And Boo doesn't give it to him. Boo licks all the pudding. And...
So that way he won't eat it.
Right.
He's just like... It's pretty gross.
Yeah. It works. So then Beers beats up Boo. Like, throws him into the ocean, shoots him with this big laser.
Sounds like DBZ. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then everyone starts to realize slowly that, oh, this guy is bad news.
He's sort of like made Boo into a ragdoll.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong.
It is.
Considering Majin Buu's probably the strongest person on Earth right now.
Probably. I mean...
Vegeta didn't beat Majin Buu last time I checked.
Right. I don't know if, like, Fat Boo has the same amount of power as, like, Super Boo and Kid Boo. Like, I'm not sure if there's some delineation.
Last time I checked, Vegeta didn't beat Fat Boo.
Yeah, no.
So, as the scoreboard currently goes, probably the strongest person on Earth, and Beers is just tracking him.
Yeah, just destroying him.
Sorry, Beersu. What happened next?
Then
After threw him in the ocean, exploded him with lasers.
The Goten and Trunks do fusion, so they become Gotenks.
Oh.
They actually realized what was going on was bad.
Uh-huh.
And we'll go stop it. It's Gotenks, you know.
Oh, cool.
It's logical.
Because he's a superhero.
He is.
He has his, what was it called? The Whirlwind Punch?
Yeah, it did nothing. For some reason, he doesn't go Super Saiyan 3, even though he's...
Yeah, even though he's Gotenks, that's exactly what he would do.
Right?
He would fail at beating him up, like, for a second, and then be like, okay, I'm going to keep raising the scale of things.
Right. But instead, Beers just sort of disciplines him and shows him against the wall, beats up his arm.
Yeah, he traps his fist with two of his fingers. He just closes them like paper, rock, scissors, like sort of V for victory thing. Closes that on his fist, on Gotenks' fist, and then keeps slapping him on the arm with two fingers.
Right.
And by the time he's done, his arm is like swollen and grotesque. I was like, that's amazing.
It's weird. Then he's like, go on back to your home, and then he has this weird, like, he acts kind of like he's being a disciplinary father figure sort of thing. And then just immediately goes back to, oh, well, I'm gonna blow up your planet anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he was like, no, go back to your home. And then he goes, well, I guess I'm gonna blow up your planet anyway, so going back home doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's so weird because Beers is written almost like they want to make him a pretty decent guy, and then he just wants to blow up the planet anyway.
It's almost like when your character is supposed to be hellbent on blowing up every planet for the most flippant shit. It's really hard to characterize them in an interesting way.
Yeah.
Because no matter what they say, think, or do, they have to constantly be triggerable to blow up the planet. Launch solved this by sneezing.
Right?
And that made her go full bitch mode. If only Beers had a full bitch mode. Bob, if Beers had a full bitch mode, what type of cat do you think that would be?
That's a good question.
It is a good question. As the co-founder of 4K Cats, the YouTube channel with 3 videos, I figured you might have...
Probably be a Persian.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where I'd land. The
I'm gonna go
Persians are pretty
Siamese.
upset.
Yeah.
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 They're Siamese.
He's gonna be like, yes, Siamese, if you please. And he's gonna do that, and then he's gonna blow up the planet. That way, in their last moments, they had to listen to him sing terrible Disney music.
Then 18 Piccolo and Tien all attack him at once. And
18 Piccolos and Tien's attack?
Yes. Android 18.
Oh, okay.
Piccolo and Tien all attack him at once. And then he just blows them all away with his power because he's so powerful.
Yeah, he just sort of like doesn't even flex. He just sort of lurches his back up, and then they all fly away, and they're all fucked up.
Yeah.
He didn't even punch him. Even Gotenks got slapped on the arm.
Mm-hmm. And something that always bothers me about Battle of the Gods in this series now is how insanely powerful he is.
Yes.
And how they treat his power like it's something totally unfathomable by the other characters.
Yes.
And yeah, every god before this has been just a total punk.
But they weren't gods of destruction.
Yeah, I know.
They were gods of management.
They were gods
of management. They were all like, we got to file the right paperwork. Hey, you got to keep track of the northern part of the Milky Way galaxy.
Like King Kai was a guy who knew a lot of fighting techniques in Goku.
You
Supreme
ever see
Kai
him?
was a guy.
No, well, hey, stop for a second.
Okay.
You ever see him throw a punch?
I guess not.
You ever see any of these motherfuckers do anything?
Supreme Kai fought.
Yeah, he did. Look at Bob selectively remembering shit again. Watch, he probably doesn't even remember the right fight scene. He's probably remembering some shit from GT, but he's remembering as Supreme Kai doing it.
Yes.
He's like, Supreme Kai fought in Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3.
Yes.
He was pretty bad.
But yeah, he like
None of them are gods of destruction.
I guess that's just the conceit
Look,
of it.
the Supreme Kai just comes with lettuce, tomatoes, sour cream.
I'd be way more okay with it. Was just he's the god of destruction. He's super powerful, like way more than you can be.
Yeah.
But it has that weird conceit of it's a different kind of power. That's why it's more powerful. It's like no, those guys had different kinds of power. They weren't way.
He has god power.
Right.
His fighting tier is god power. He has transcended
the other gods
normal
don't have
power.
God powers. Okay.
No, they just can't fight for shit. Look, all I'm saying is Majin Buu's magic, which might be able to defeat god power, but it didn't this time. That's for fucking sure.
Right? I was really expecting Majin Buu to actually be able to do something.
Me too.
Like maybe turn him into a cookie.
Or even try.
Yeah, he doesn't even try to once.
Yeah.
So yeah, they fight some more, and then eventually
18 should have like found 16's head, reconstructed it, and then crushed it under her foot to make Beerus cry. Like, if you can't physically harm him, try to emotionally damage him. I think just a bit. You know?
Yeah, Gohan tries to fight for just a second, then he like
literally just
just a second, and then Beerus like throws Majin Buu at him and knocks him out. It's like
slaps him away with Majin Buu.
Yeah, it's like the most pathetic thing.
I mean, you just talked about Gohan.
Right.
What's new? Gohan hasn't been not pathetic in a really long time.
Which is so
This is where Zeon's gonna be like, well, when the Kai gave him the ascended powers.
It's because Gohan has the most of these weirdo powers of any Saiyan. Like, he got his power unlocked by the Namek guy.
Goku's a car.
Okay, true. Goku does have instant transmission. That's a pretty weird power. And then he got his power like
Also,
magical-fied
Goku
was Elder Kai, which you'd think that would get him god powers, right? You'd think that'd be godlike.
No.
No,
That's mystic.
All right, that's
It's
mystical. Mystical. All right, it's very different.
With the sword, mystical swordliness.
Yes. Okay. I'm sure it's
Also,
all makes sense.
For the record, Goku also has the amazing power of baby penis.
He doesn't have that anymore, Dad.
You don't know that.
Only because they're not legally allowed to show us.
I think GT shows that they're legally allowed to do whatever they want in Japan. They'll show as much baby penis as they want.
Look, they can't just draw that on a full-grown man. They don't get away with that.
I think it's just that people would be disappointed. They'd be like, I expected Goku's penis to be huge.
I really need this.
I feel like there's some people out there who do really need that. They might be really upset if Goku has baby penis. We run a really weird podcast.
Apparently.
What happens next, Bob?
Then
what bullshit that has all become a fucking gray slurry of bullfuck in my head?
Vegeta tries to fight him finally, goes Super Saiyan, gets beat up. And then Bulma comes up.
Wait, no. You're skipping an important character moment.
Okay.
Beersu's gonna be like, I'm gonna destroy you and your planet, blah, blah, blah. And he starts charging his, like, attack, right?
Right.
And then Vegeta's like, at least I get to die to a death god. That is honorable. And he's like, at least you have the decency to recognize that. And he goes, that's honorable, you know?
Yeah.
You can be proud of that. And then he's like, at least you have the decency to recognize that. And then during this, Bulma just walks up and slaps Beerus. Beerus stops charging his shot just to be like, bitch, did you just... did this... You actually did that.
Right.
And then Vegeta's like, oh, don't do anything, please, Beerus. Whatever you do, don't do anything. And he's like, he's gonna blow up everything in 1 second.
Yeah.
What are you worried about Bulma for? What the fuck are you...
Somehow he just couldn't connect. Bulma would die too.
I guess he assumes that Beerus is going to do something absolutely heinous to Bulma.
Right.
And not just kill her.
Yeah.
And so, like, Beerus just, like, sort of, like, bitch slaps her across the room. And that makes Vegeta ultra triggered. Which is I checked with Xeon, that is the actual name for this level of Saiyanhood. Which is evidently more powerful than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Because he did more damage to Beerus than Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Right, even Beerus acknowledges, hey, you're more entertaining than Goku.
But yeah, so he does that and he fights Beerus. And the fight scene goes and there's things like hitting and punching.
And I think the fight scene was at least kind of neat. They did the thing where they punched him into the water and they were fighting in this giant like hole in the water.
Yeah.
And then the water comes flowing back in. It wasn't great. It wasn't even good. It was better than I expected though.
Okay. I feel like Super's getting off. Bob has like the lowest bar in the world for Super. I think that's what's happening.
Look, it's a fight scene that looks like something that would be in Dragon Ball Z. It's anything close to that. It's not this madness, this GT of. Then they look at him.
What if I told you there are alternate universes, parallel worlds?
They just look at him and wonder why didn't we fight, and they didn't fight. And then so things calm down for a second.
Yeah.
The whole what's his face? Beerus has been stalling for time before blowing up the planet now because
Why?
I was about to get to that because his attendant.
His attendant
is
his attendant.
Whatever his name is.
Beer's power stopped working. Can you go check out that thing?
His attendant is eating sushi and like amazed at how good it is, and he's getting a platter to go made.
Oh, okay. He's getting a sampler platter.
Yeah, sample platter for the road.
To them, and he's just eating it up. Weeses. He's just like trying sushi, and he's like, "Oh, some of this, and some of that, and some of this, and some of that,"
and it's all good. And he's having a good time.
Yeah.
So that's what's delaying Beerus from blowing the planet at this point.
Yeah, he's like, this stuff's really good, and you can't try it if you blow up the planet, but if you give us a little bit more time, you can try it. And then everyone and their mom makes the argument to Beerus of like, if you blow up the planet, you can't try pudding.
Right?
But it just doesn't impact, because it can't impact, otherwise there won't be any tension.
Yeah.
Guys, we just synopsized 3 episodes.
And then Wulong gets in a rock paper scissors fight with Spears to decide if they're gonna blow up the planet.
Yeah. Okay.
There's tension there because he's a.
Is it funny?
It's mildly funny. It has its moments. Wulong gets to do stuff.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I appreciated it.
And then they like tie a few times, and then Wulong loses.
They tie?
Yeah. They tie
yeah.
They both throw
scissors.
Yeah.
Twice in a row.
It's good.
That's pretty good.
And Beerus tries to make the argument that Wulong's cheating.
He's like, you tied with me? Did you wait a second before throwing yours? And Oolong's like, look, if I fucking cheated like that, I'd probably cheat to win. And then he's like, yeah, you make a good point. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the funniest joke out of all of this. I'm pretty firm.
There's because Beers has some decent moments like that.
Yes,
and it's like,
he does.
Why are you just this awful character outside of that?
He's pretty funny. He's a cat Il Palazzo at a lot of moments.
Yes.
Where it's just like, you are the most nearsighted dumb shit.
Yeah.
But you're so full of yourself, and it's amazing. But yeah, no, I still think that's the funniest joke out of all this. Because
Probably.
he just accused him of cheating because he couldn't conceptualize losing. And then he's like, but I would win if I cheated and not die. And then he throws this, Oolong throws up the scissors the third time. And Beers properly changes to rock.
Mm-hmm.
So then Beers wins and he's going to blow up the planet. But then Goku's like, not if I can help it. And then it plays some dumbass music.
I like the music. It's terrible.
No, it's fucking terrible. It's not even ironically enjoyable for me.
It is.
It's like
it's
it's like ragtag rock band you would see locally that have no fucking idea what they're doing. They're like, this is our solo.
They should have just played the intro. They should have played the whole intro music again.
They should play the intro from His and Her Circumstances. That would have fit more. That would have been great. Tenchi no Yubikiri. That would fit that scene more. Goku running up to hug Beers. Yeah, Beers has a giant Destructo sphere, and then Goku's like, not if I can help it. And then he runs up.
And then everybody's like, oh man, Goku, you showed up just in time again. Why do you always come so close?
And then Goku's like, oh, sorry, I'm late to your birthday party, Bulma. And Bulma finally getting over herself for a moment, which I guess being thrown across the room like a fucking ragdoll kind of helped. She's like, we have bigger problems than my birthday. And then he's like, yeah, I'll get you a present, don't worry. And she's like, that's not what I'm fucking talking about. But then eventually Goku thinks and flies up to Beers and says, hey, I don't know what a Super Saiyan God is still, but I know a guy we can ask. We can ask our old friend Shenron. And then he's like, okay. And then it ends. and I'm just like, fuck you. Immediately, I yelled "fuck you" at the TV. I don't believe the TV could hear me, nor can Toriyama or the Toei animation team or Toei writers. But fuck them. I'm not happy with how Super went. When I'm excited to get back to figure out exactly how insane GT is gonna become because of the insane fear that was. I wasn't a villager. I was this weirdo in red spandex, and I'm taking this now and bye.
Watch the next
just
episode.
This one Dragon Ball.
The next episode, the rest of the villagers are going to be weirdo space aliens all transform.
1, that would be amazing.
Yes.
2, this isn't going to be that good. But 3, I think next episode of GT might be the fabled episode where they run across all of the rest of the Dragon Balls. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because, man... They veered really hard, and that's exactly what I needed from GT right now. I needed to make me wonder what the hell is going on, because it clearly doesn't have its shit together, and that's what I'm interested in. Super's pacing is so intentionally, maliciously slow.
Yes.
I'm just angry with it, and I'm not looking forward to next episode, because not enough's going to happen next episode, or the one after that.
Yeah, no,
but maybe the one after that.
Right.
Maybe 2 episodes is enough time to get the Dragon Balls out of the fucking basement, summon Shenron.
I mean,
ask it how the series Super is going to make Super Saiyan God Super even dumber, or Super Saiyan God even dumber. They're like, hey, Shenron, how are we going to fuck it up this time? And he's like, hey, Pilaf gang, why are you guys kids? And they're like, don't ask. We might have to explain it if we answer you. And he's like, good point. Well, guys, here's the thing. Krillin can join in too. And they're like, yay!
But everybody loves Krillin.
And then Krillin's like, I'm really glad I could be a part of this, guys. I know this is an important moment for Goku, and I like to be there for every important moment for Goku. Like the first time he got laid.
Yeah, definitely.
When Gohan was born.
Uh-huh.
When he became a giant ape and I touched his penis. I was here for all of it. And then everyone's like, why did we let Krillin be involved? God damn it, Shenron. The Shenron's like, your wish is granted. And everyone's like, no one asked for this.
What wish is this?
No one would wish this on themselves or anyone else. Whereas Super, or GT, whereas GT, the next episode could involve time travel for how fucking crazy it's getting. I feel like I'm gonna need 3 full episodes of Super to get anything remotely done.
I actually watched the next time. It looks like they actually do some stuff. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You watching the next time thing?
Yeah,
I checked out by that point.
Okay.
We just left it running.
Right.
And I'm over here at the computer, and I'm like, "Dear Discord, Super sucks."
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed these 3 episodes more than those last 2. Because I felt like we got to see more of the main cast of Z doing things, and we hear a little bit more, or we have a little bit more happen with them, even if it's mostly inconsequential, goofy stuff. It's kind of fun to
what?
Unconsequential.
Oh, okay.
Just goofy stuff. It's neat to see some more with the main cast, like Yamcha bragging about being the strongest guy to Beers.
Yes, there's good writing.
Yeah, there's some of that.
But for the love of Christ, 3 episodes straight of a guy being like, "I'm really temperamental. I might blow up this planet at any moment." Why didn't they get Seth MacFarlane to fucking
He's
voice
too
Beers?
expensive.
Oh, that's true.
That's the only reason.
That's 100% true. Why isn't Il Palazzo's voice actor just doing a Seth MacFarlane? It would fit a little too well.
Right.
Just do a Stewie voice. It perfectly mirrors the level of writing for Beers so far. And yeah, I think there's some really good gags in here. I think there's pretty drawn out everything.
Yeah, no, everything's super drawn out.
Everything's at least 3 times as long as it should be. And I hate that it's 3 episodes straight of, "Oh, I could get really upset. Any second now, I'm going to blow up this planet." And then Goku's just not involved past the first 10 seconds of the first of this triplet of episodes. Episode 6 at the beginning, he's like, "I'm feeling great because I ate that senzu bean." And then King Kai's like, "Yeah, you just look terrible because like Beers crippled you." And then he's like, "I should do something." Wait, no, I should not piss him off. But I can't not do nothing.
Like, it took him 3 episodes to figure out
And that was it.
what he should do.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm really glad.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
It's so bad. And they even cut to the Pilaf gang in a boat at one point.
Yes, they had
They're
the
like-
Pilaf gang.
They're
lead
like,
the
"Okay,
cruise
bust
ship."
out. Why are you guys paddling so slow?" Never mind. He should be Stewie. In any case, and the other 2 are like, "Well, you made us leave the leftovers, you dum-dum." And he's like, "Well, I got real scared." And they're like, "Well, we can't paddle on an empty stomach." And he's like, "Well, maybe we should go back for the food." "No, that's insane." And they're like, "No, we should go back for the food." And he's like, "No, that's insane." And then the other one's like, "We should go back for the food." And he's like, "No, that's insane."
Yeah.
That was like, I mean, I didn't write down the time code, but I'm pretty sure that was about 7 hours long.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
There are so many.
They're probably going to be back on the ship next episode.
I hope so. That way they can at any point do anything that is meaningful. 'Cause
Right.
so far they've done nothing other than cause a giant fucking plot hole. How addled with ADD do you have to be to forget that the thing you are actively remaking into a series is the thing that made them into children, and thus you have to have it occur in the thing you are making?
Oh yeah, this is after the episode that we've noticed that Dende's a kid again. Or he's not.
Oh
he's
my
not this.
God.
He's not as young as he was in the beginning of Z, but he's not as old as he was by the end of Z.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It really bugs me. He's like half as tall as Piccolo, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right at all for any period of time.
Right? No. We didn't see that before.
I don't fucking know. But
yeah.
I'm gonna give it to GT.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because that last thing that happened that I literally was so floored by, I had to pause it.
That last thing is hilarious.
That's fucking insane. That is the sound of the writing team grabbing the wheel and veering off the road.
Yeah, it is.
Whereas
And yet it's still plagued by, let's look at it.
Yes, no.
Let's not interact with this event ever.
Yeah, because
we have to wait for it to fully happen and cause things that are horrible.
Look, if a Toei writer were to write a way for a thing to happen justifiably, they would die.
I guess.
It'd be lethal, that level of thought. Whereas Super is just very meticulously designed to go in slow motion. They turned a 2-hour movie into a 307-year-long journey. I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it, yeah.
No,
occasionally you get some good jokes out of Super, but then it goes in slow. It's like
we should watch the whole thing and fast forward. It doesn't.
Are we ready to
stoop to that level?
To regress to subhuman and watch our anime and fast forward because we're ambitious men on the move?
No, that'll be terrible. That'll make it even worse.
Well, I don't know either. I mean, we can't watch it at 2 times speed because of the way the disc playback works on the PS4, but we can watch it at 1.5 times speed. Think about how much of your life you would get back. Oh, that'd be nice. Because Dragon Ball doesn't deserve it. Or at very least, these two don't deserve it right now. Maybe once Super 17 gets his Super 17 shoulder biceps involved.
You and your Super 17 love.
I'm just saying. He's really... just like that Fishman was saying. Great, now I'm calling it Fishman. Thanks, Bob. People are going to think this thing's about fish dick, like it's the sound of water. Just like he was saying to Trunks Zeta. You're pretty cut. Bob, what if that alien was Super 17? See, that's what I'm hoping for. Swing for the fences, right? That alien's going to be like, this is a mask. And then he's going to rip it off to be Super 17. And I'll be like, okay, that makes about as much sense as you being the villager back there. That had nothing to do with any of the story.
Yeah, no, he just keeps transforming. It's like, oh, yeah, I know. I was actually Frieza.
I'm also Dr. Gero. It just keeps going. And it's like, please stop being stop. Just stop.
I was actually 16. I made it off that planet.
Wait, you're 16? Yeah, because 17 ain't 9. Wait. Thanks for listening to this episode of GT versus Super. I hope we all learned a lot today. If you enjoyed this, you should probably subscribe and comment below saying exactly, quote, I enjoyed this. That's the only way we'll know if you enjoyed this. And after you do those, maybe back us on Patreon and, I don't know, spam us with comments, be like, I'm only backing you for your dumb Dragon Ball podcast. That helps us figure out why people like us. And it's really helpful because as it turns out, if the podcast doesn't get any views and we don't get any support, eventually we have to stop it because we only have a limited amount of time. But I'm really getting off topic. What I'm here to say is thank you. GigaBoots has been brought to you by our Immaculate God King executive producers, Vincent Poverk, Cy Wolf, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Unit Number 2, Joshua Mattingly, Brendan O'Sullivan, Trouncing Trogdor, Starfalcon, and Spaceman Spiff. Thank you to all of our God King executive producers, and also these guys. Head on over to patreon.com/GigaBoots and become one of these names today.